Right, okay. We're back live on Thunderous Altercations for another lovely Saturday. Man, oh man, sorry for the delay. You know how it is. Technical difficulties. Never know what happened. Donald Trump could be scheming or whatever the case is. But nevertheless, we're back. David Lorenzo Glover, aka the controversial counselor. And here I have my host, co-host Kelly Renee. How you doing, Kelly?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing, David? After that,
I'm I'm all right. Was a little anxious, going through a little anxiety. Like, come on now, this got to work. Trump can't be bothering me. I don't even talk junk about him on social media.
Okay, if you do, you go to jail. Not, like not lock up, but like on Facebook jail or whatever. Like I just started seeing friends coming back out. Like I haven't seen them posting in a while, and I was like, oh, they just probably depressed, laying low. I'm sorry. My little thing fell over, y'all. But that's just the type of Saturday we having, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, people are just back posting stuff. Oh, did we go out? We back?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, all right. I just want to make sure my tablet didn't mess us up. Like, dang, I didn't mess us up today. So okay, you get one and I get one.
All right, so now with hopefully everything is cleared out. We got all the kinks out. Let's talk about last week's show, recap of last week's show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, basically we talked about, golly, it was the situation. What did we talk about last week? It's so much going on.
Yeah, it is so much going on. Oh my God, I'm getting old. Draw the blank. That's bad.
Because it's crazy. I mean, and this is so live because of the fact that I write, of course, for my podcast show and then creating topics for this show. So everything just pretty much just keeps running together.
Oh, I got it. Can you pass her test?
Yes, the test. That's right. The infamous test that men give and women give. Right.
Yeah, that dreaded test.
Yeah, we talked about as far as, men have to have confidence. They, definitely can't be doing, too much with the texting. That gets a little overbearing sometimes, a lot of the time. So, yeah, and we talked about as far as red flags that you want to be on the lookout for. And then you had an issue in reference to ladies getting, feedback and opinions from their friends on when to basically like run for the hills.
Yeah, basically, because in my experiences, most of the time that they're getting feedback from people who never had a successful relationship, but always have something to say.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, from experience is experience. So if they're old enough to have experienced more than maybe, their friend, and then seeing those signs that they've seen themselves, my great grandmother used to say, if you meet one, you've met them all.
Well, I mean, yeah. My grandmother main thing used to say, if somebody can't help you cross that bridge, you go one way and they go the other. So I think that's what it's all about, finding somebody that can help you cross the bridge and you help them cross the bridge.
Yeah, okay. I mean, and that's a good thing, especially when it comes to especially friendships where you don't want to burn certain bridges because sometimes you might get into little disagreements or whatever. But if you can come back from that, that's maturity. But again, people know what they want. People know what they're looking for in other people. So they know when they're going to continue to let that keep moving forward or not.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But I think the bottom line is, I think you should go into each situation with it being authentic, just not saying, let me put up my guards and let me be difficult. Just go with the flow. And I think guys may tend to go with the flow and women feel like that's just organized chaos. They really don't think too much into it. And you kept bringing up the variable about age would be the key. Like, I don't have time for nonsense. I don't
Mhm.
think guys do either, but sometimes you just say, "Hey, I just want to be myself and see how it goes."
Yeah. Well, again, as you get older, I don't know what 2020 is the worst right now. So that's just where we are. I hope we go to a break soon so that I can get this whole situation going and get it together over here because I'm now 2 for 1, I guess. I don't know what's going on. Like, why is this happening today? Like, we got one more episode. Like, today is the day. 2020
Yeah,
sucks, and we got July coming up. We don't need nothing extra. And Saturday is not being real friendly right now.
yeah. I guess it'd be like it's like that sometime, but sometimes you just got to adapt. And I'm sure once we go on break and you get everything adjusted, so people don't mind, we'll be back on track. Just stay with us. Especially if y'all sitting there saying, "What the hell is going on? Is
Yeah,
this
like, wait a
a
minute.
comedy hour?"
Right. Listen, I haven't even gotten halfway through my drink, and it's like the daggone tablets drunk or being tipsy. Like, come on, we got the same setup, man. We've been doing this for how many weekends now? And I have not changed anything different. It's just like, I don't know. But I was watching The Invisible Man, so maybe something is going on like that in my house.
Could be, could be. You never know.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, Invisible Man. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you got to see that. Suspense. Yeah, it'll keep you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, I got to get better at checking out different movies and different things. I mean, here and there I'll watch movies, but I'm mainly again sports. And but this pandemic, I've been watching a lot of stuff over and over. But like I said, the last few weeks, I really haven't even turned on the TV. Maybe once per week.
It's getting like that. You don't want to see a lot of things anymore. It's only so much your brain can actually take now, and it'd be like, okay, that's enough. It's kind of like a parking meter. Like, there's just a certain limit of time that you can take only so much. Even with social media, it's like you get on there, you try to promote, and then you get out. Like, I'm out of here. I gotta go because it's about to get and go down a slippery slope, and I don't want to see it.
Some people live for that, and like you said, you have to just kind of gauge it, see what's going on, and say, "All right, I'm done.
Right.
On to the
Right.
next assignment."
Yeah, let me go find that episode and watch that again because that puts me in a better place. Yeah, but I get it. Like, I totally get it. So basically, today, shall we let them know what we're going to talk about?
Oh, no doubt. You can go ahead introduce today's topic.
Okay, well, today's topic is called Can We Make This Happen on Another Level? Now, there are a lot of people that I know, especially during like this whole COVID time and starting to have like a little bit more developmental feelings for their friends. And maybe it doesn't have anything to do with COVID, but it may just be something that they are starting to actually see because, like I said before, and I'll say it again, everybody's starting to get more in depth within their feelings, the things that they like to do, and like the things that they may actually have other interests for. And it actually could be something they're seeing more in their friendships with people. And they're like, you know what, especially within even people of the opposite sex, or depending on, where you go, we don't discriminate, same sex. It again maybe something that they want to try and actually take a chance at. So we're going to cover that topic today. Should you stay in your zone as the friend, or should you basically stop pussyfooting around and do something about it? And I want to know basically how David's going to have his take on this. I want to know. I can't wait to hear what he has to say about this one today.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have something to say. But
I,
what I can say is if it if I'm in a relationship, I would never settle for being demoted and say, oh, we can just be friends. Now, the hell with that. We're done. I mean, I'm not interested in being your friends. If we're a couple and you try to demote me down to the friend zone, you can stick a fork in it. It's over. It's over.
But what
That
if
that
something happened as far as in the situation where it was probably maybe best to demote it down to the friend zone?
you're gonna have to give me some legitimate reasons why I should be demoted.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do you believe in trying to pursue something with a close friend, somebody you may have been friends with within years, and you starting to see like things and maybe you both are having a different vibe and you may could read something, and it's different. Do you think that that's something you should pursue or should you leave it where you are?
I mean, if it feels good and feel right, you can definitely you could definitely go for it. I think that that chance with me would be more appealing to, hey, let me try to take a shot at the title compared to being with someone and they say, well, I just want to be friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you take a shot at someone and they're like, they're not really feeling it, I mean, your feelings is going to be hurt, but there's a chance that you probably could say, all right, let me back up and go back to how we used to be. That may be difficult as well, but it's going to be definitely some good talking points about um, how to make it happen, why it shouldn't happen. So
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely an interesting topic.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. It's going to get real interesting. And we want to hear from you guys out there also that's tuned in right now with us, that's watching us live. Feedback and let us know, comment, tell us if you've ever been in a situation like that where you had those feelings for your friend and did you try? Did it work out or did it make the friendship like weird? And it's like, nah, we can't even, I barely speak now. Yeah, we want to hear from y'all today. So make sure that you leave us some comments or some feedback on some of your personal things if you're not scared.
Yeah, a lot of times you hit home with that, and people like, I don't even want to rehash that or
Ooh.
bring that experience up again. But again, we feel like it's definitely something worthy of talking about because somebody might be going through that right now. And like you said, with the pandemic, they
Mm.
may say, hey, after this is over, I'm definitely making a run for it because we had some nice conversations and um, got closer and gonna see what's gonna happen. But before we do that, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back and we're gonna dive right into this episode of Can We Make This Happen? And we'll be
All
back
right.
momentarily.
Okay.
Non-attorney spokesperson. Attention military service members who use dual-ended combat arms earplugs between 2003 and 2015. 3M has agreed to pay out $9.1 million to resolve allegations that they sold defective earplugs to our troops. If you have ringing in the ear, hearing loss, or tinnitus, you may be entitled to compensation from 3M, not the U.S. government. Time is running out. Call now for a free case review. We are here to serve you. Call 800-559-8453.
How many seconds do you think we got?
We're about to go back on.
Oh, shucks.
All right, we're back live in Thunderous Altercations, and if you missed the introduction, we introduced the show. Today's topic: Can we make this happen? And that's pretty much dealing with the friendship zone.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, your mindset maybe: would you be willing if you gain feelings for a friend? Would you be willing to try to take it further, or would you be a little leery of doing that because you don't want to ruin your friendship? So we're pretty much at that point. Talking about why now? Why all of a sudden now? You've been friends with somebody for years,
Mm-hmm.
and now you got these butter butterflies, these jittery feelings when you talk to them. All of that stuff is going on top of everything that's going on in the world today. Like why now? So
Mm-hmm.
Kelly, you want to start this one off?
I mean, well, some people, like you said, they have these conversations now. Maybe more friendships are becoming closer because a lot of people basically aren't being around maybe their normal set of friends that they usually hang out with. It could be the thing that they're really trying to stay more indoors. And then, as far as conversations or, talking, whatever the case may be. And a lot of people, like I had said before, and a couple of episodes back, a lot of people are downloading, like, you know, of course, the face apps, the Zoom, the Duo, all of that. So like now you get a chance to kind of have a closeness with that friend. You're having your conversations, and then you're starting to make it like a thing. Like every night you're talking to each other, and there's maybe texting throughout the day, and it's maybe more than what it actually used to be. So even in the consideration of where they actually stand, maybe you start looking at them differently because you do have a lot more downtime. And I think when you really start to think about that friend differently, it could have been something that may have always been there. But now within the fact that you can see that you both are in situations that's nobody's involved, you may want to start trying to see what I can do. Like maybe I should now start to kind of bring a little bit more out and express how I really feel or what I've now been feeling lately, and haven't had a chance to actually see them in that light for what you're feeling now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people are fear to be rejected.
Mm-hmm.
But as Kelly was saying, that's one of the things. If you're feeling it and you got the confidence and you think it's something there,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which sometimes it may be hard to tell, but if you got that gut feeling and it feels right, then hey, you can go for it. What do you have to lose? The worst thing would be for down the road for her to mention during that time during the pandemic when we were talking all the time, I was really waiting for you to say something, but now I kind of met this other person and I'm kind of want to see how that goes. And
Yeah.
you're sitting there like damn it, I knew I should have said something. And then you're trying to dump all those feelings on her, but she's kind of moved past that point. So like I said, if it feel right, you got to go for it.
Yeah, and also even in the part of this as far as like the obvious signs you feel like you see in your own self, like within yourself, you're starting to see like, okay, you're now trying to find within the confidence to be open and actually say what it is you feel. Like you said, sometimes you have to wait too long. And if you wait too long, it's a wrap. Yeah, because they didn't start that online dating, you know, and they had that on the back burner, but you were entertaining each other. But then the fact of who are you to blame? Because neither one of you said anything. But again, it goes back to I have this age thing. I swear I do. We're not in school anymore. You know what I mean? Like this ain't fourth grade. We don't gotta write that note and be like, do you like me? Yes, no, maybe. Do you want to go out? See, sometimes you have to be aggressive, and sometimes you have to read the signs. Like if they're starting to talk to you, or now, you know, in an undertone way, they have little subliminal cute little jokes or little messages or how they address you, then those are things as far as telltale signs that you can see right there.
Yeah, and that's true. And then there's some signs that will let you know you may be feeling a certain way, and then they may not. Like if they're calling you bro and all of that stuff, or he's like a brother to me. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if you really want to go there with that, especially if that's how you're introduced to people. So you have to watch them sides. That don't mean it's 100%, but I wouldn't want no girl, woman that I'm interested in to be calling me bro and all of that stuff.
But you know what? You can take that, like you said, and it may not actually mean like bro. It could be the fact that it goes back to their pulling back too. So they don't want to throw mixed emotions or feelings or a mixed sign out. So they try to keep themselves in a safety zone. But it's going to be on your personality if you're going to be more so aggressive to try to break through that. Because, yeah, they could be like, sis, cuz, like, and then you don't even want to be addressed by that anymore because of the fact that you have these different feelings now. So,
So
go ahead.
so I get it. So like you said, that's a good point that she may be using that just to see how you're gonna respond. So you might come back that with yeah, I never wanted to kiss my sister. And just throw that out there. and see what she says.
Right. Didn't we just talk about Tess last week?
Yeah, true. And she might start laughing and giggling, like, what you mean? And they want you to go further. And that's the introduction to
You better.
let her know how you feel.
Yep. And you have to, because again, you never know who's feeling like you. And they actually ain't in that closeness like the two of you are. And this could be somebody, and when I'm talking about like a close friend, I'm talking about somebody you've known at least within a past a 5-year stint. Because I think those are the most salvageable, if that's a real word, type of relationships that you can actually keep if it don't go within the way. But again, you're gonna have to try to act. You know why? Because we're gonna have a second wave of this crap, and you want to at least probably the next go round be with somebody, you know, because maybe you're really starting to, or you've matured now, or you know you've been single for a while, and now you know what it is that you really want, and then you're starting to see these qualities within your friend that you're really close to, and you guys have the same type of vision or goals. Then you're starting to get more attracted to that. Like, dang, they could probably bring some things to the table. We could be a dynamic duo, a power couple at that, because we're, you know, we think the same. I didn't know, you know, they wanted to do such and such like I did. Like, wow, you're taken aback now. Now you really started like, they are really quite sexy now. I did not really. So you're gonna have to, I think sometimes somebody has to just take a chance and actually see if the signs are really what you see.
So let me ask you this. So, say for example, it's this as a guy, and you're friends with a young lady, and you know she was in a relationship, and you know you were around. You know that was your friend, but you were introduced to her man, and you kind of know him, but then now he's out of the picture. Do you think it's okay for that friend to say, all right, he's out of the picture, let me make a move now, even though he's been around both of you?
Well, what's the connection? How deep is the connection with the other friend?
Well, the young lady, you know, he's known her for years. They've been friends for years since they were younger. And
Right.
but
With
then
the other guy.
the guy is just like you met him through her, and you've been around like over for game nights, football games, just you know, hanging out. So you've had conversations with him.
Okay, you've had conversations with him, but have you known him within the same amount of years is what I'm trying to understand.
Oh no, you haven't known him that long, only through her.
We met him for like 2 seconds.
No, it's been she was with him for years, and
Okay.
you've been around, but then now he's out of the picture, and the whole time you were sitting there
Exactly.
like, man, she would be the one for me. Oh, if I had her. Now he's
Okay.
out of the picture, and you try to make that move.
Got you. Now, how long have they been separated? Like, how long they been broken up?
About a year.
About a year?
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's a hard one to swallow. Because, see, you know how they say it takes, like, within that 6 months to really know that person. It doesn't, I think it takes about almost the same amount of time to really not have the feelings, to not go back and forth. I think it's kind of like a cycle thing in the process once you break up with somebody that you've had a longevity as far as within a relationship with. And then the thing is, have they seen each other within that year and passing, or are they just completely not speaking anymore? Has she been honest about that? Because sometimes some people don't want to admit that they still got feelings for their ex, or they kind of talk to them occasionally.
But we're just going to throw it out there for this scenario that they're done.
They're done.
She hasn't seen him, and you know
Yes.
the other guy's been friends with her. She's been telling him, you know, some little things, but now she's been telling more as time went by, like the reason why it didn't work out.
Yeah. 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 Go for it. Yep. Go ahead. Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
All right. I just wanted to see your take on that, because I know that's probably could be a common situation.
Yeah. And it could be the fact that maybe things really ain't working with their relationships that they're having with other people because of the fact that it's something that they're missing, which may be you. And they haven't had a chance to give it a shot, or never even thought about the idea, like, you know, the connection we have is so, like, you know, strong. Like, I wonder, could this be something a little more than our friendship?
True, and I think sometimes in situations like that, sometimes people keep that friend around because secretly they want to know the moves that they're making. So once that breakup happens with that person, they can say, "Oh, okay, now I can really try to work towards getting with the person I really want to be with,
Right?
and can cut these games out."
Yeah, because all you're gonna keep doing is getting older. That's
Yeah,
it. You know what I mean? And you really have to value or really look at what do you want to gain from a relationship? Do you just want longevity, or do you want an actual marriage? Do you want to be married, or do you not believe in that? Do you want to, like, how committed are you looking for your next relationship? Like, where do you want that to fit into? Because this could be the same thing. Y'all both not getting any younger. Y'all both still keep trying with the wrong people, and the right match is right in front of you, but neither one of y'all are doing anything because both sides is pussyfooting around, but the other one's not really trying to be aggressive because that's really not their personality. Somebody better do something, because I am 40 and getting older, and it needs to be said.
yeah. Some moves definitely have to be made. Or like I said, you just don't want to be sitting around, uh, sitting at the local bar talking about, man, I let this one get away,
Right.
or I really should have stepped my game up. But I think you probably should do it. But to me, as a guy, I don't think you may want to be running your mouth to your buddies or anything like that, unless it's one that who really kind of doesn't have opinion one way or the other. He may be the one, the motivating factor for you to say, "Yo, bro, you better go ahead. I've been knew that she liked you, or you better make a move." But some of the other ones, they just you can stay away from them. They always seem to be giving bad advice.
But how about your outside company, the ones that look from the outside on both of you, and they see it? They see the whole setup. They see the whole vibe. And it's just like as if you had something that was like a rope in between the floor or something. Like, that's how close you two would trip over each other. Like, just the sense of that other people are telling you, I don't understand why you haven't said nothing yet. Y'all have more than just a friendship. You need to really say something and make your move. But you have so many people who regret with not regret. That's not the right word I wanted to look for. Use. It's so many people that fear the rejection that they never do it.
Yeah, and that's true. And but I think, like you said, the people that's watching and they know, they can kind of sometimes they can give you the confidence to say, man, you don't see every time you say something, she's cracking up. Like you're not even that funny,
Not
dude, but she
funny,
laughs at everything. But
right? You're not even a ha. It ain't even a kiki. And no, you don't. She the only good cheerleader you got. Supports all your corniness.
yeah,
But yeah, so you really, and then another thing is what you don't want to do is if you are starting to see these types of signs, you don't want to get your friend to say something for you, because now see, that shows a lack of confidence. And we talked about that last week about the test that women are looking for in men, but in a selective partner in general, period. You got to
well,
have confidence.
hold on to that thought, because we're gonna come back and I'm gonna probably take you down the road. And I remember that mistake I made when I was younger, whatever. This was college years though. But we'll be back and we're gonna again pick up where we left off. And you're listening to Thunder's Altercation, and today's topic is, can we make this happen?
All right.
All right, we're back on Thunderous Altercations, and here you have me, David Lorenzo Glover, aka C2, and you have my host, Kelly Renee. And we're talking about, can we make this happen? And when we went on break, we were talking about um, when you're in that, that friend zone and you're starting to like someone and you got one of your buddies telling you like it's obvious, you don't know, you can't tell that she laughs at everything you say. She kind of, I've seen her looking you up and down and just doing little stuff that you should know, but you're acting clueless, but you need to make a move. And Kelly said to the fact that what you don't want to do is have that friend speak up for you and go to that woman because, from last week's show, women like men that are confident. So
Yes.
I said I was going to come back with a story from when I was in college that I had one of my buddies always, he would always speak up for me because I was kind of quiet. And, once I got a couple cocktails in me, I would get a little bold, but
I can see that, David. I can see that.
no, you can't see that. Nah.
That.
So he would do it, and I don't think his intent was malicious or anything. He just wanted to put me in a place. But a lot of times he would be doing it, and sometimes I wouldn't have no idea. So then when I would come around. And he was like, "There you go. Why you come around? You should have stayed clear. I almost had you in, and all of that stuff." So
He's like,
in that case, I would prefer like sometimes you just the less people you have involved, the better off you could be because I don't know what he was saying, what actually he was saying, but according to him, it was a good thing.
oh, okay. One of those.
Yeah, it was one of those, and I somehow I'll find a way to blow it.
Oh, okay. Because you went and reserved back into like the shyness.
No, because I think I would come. I was feeling a little tipsy, and I probably would say something. I don't know, not too much out of pocket, but just I can't even remember like actually what, but it was something that would kind of irritate the young lady.
Oh, wow. Okay. I got you. I got you. Yeah, a little too many cocktails. And
Yeah.
yeah, just one of them quick little pop quiz tests. That wasn't even like anything you had a chance to prepare for. But in speaking of preparation though, what's the game plan? Like how are you gonna do this? How are you gonna step up and say what it is you feel? And have you actually weighed out the pros and the cons of knowing should you even pursue this?
Well, I think the game plan. I think in many cases people have thought about like if we were together, but I think if you're really going to go for it, you probably need to lay out some definites to kind of convince her like, man, I think we're on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
But that first initial move has to get you in to get that conversation going. You can't worry about rejection. Like I said, she may make a comment by calling you broke because that's her like defense mechanism from rejection. And then you say something like, "Man, I never wanted to kiss my sister," or it could be a subtle thing. You sitting there and you grab her hand and see how she reacts. Now
No.
she could say stop playing and smack your hand and or she could hold on to it and you're like, okay, like we're still holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got something to work with, but you need something to work with.
So would you would take more of a sensual approach, a more of a touching approach?
Yeah, I think I would like that because um, I think that touch control sometimes is big. It's
Oh, okay.
that non-directive stuff that goes a long way, I think.
So you're not gonna do it millennial style and send a text message about it?
Well, I think for some, that may be like, okay, why did you're around me all the time? Why are you texting this to me? Why you couldn't say it? We were just watching. You were just at my house. We were having drinks, watching movies, just chilling, and you ain't say anything. Did you wait till you get home to text all this stuff? And it depends on the person how they respond to it.
Mhm. Right, exactly. Because some people are texters anyway, more so as opposed to talking as far as verbal. But I always talk about, like in my podcast show, you got to be vocal. You better say what you're feeling and what's on your mind. But when you get to this giddy, stupid bullshit and you can't even talk, like when they come around, that means you already deep in it. So you're just trying to still make eye contact. It gets bad once you get to that point around them. You should have been said something, because now you're starting to look a little weird, and you can't even have a conversation like you normally used to when you guys were really on some bro and sis or whatever type of time. Have you know what I mean? Like, you really, because if you're going to bed or throughout your day and you're starting to think about them and you're starting to put scenarios together that you can see the both of you in, and you're getting all giddy and flushed and fluttery, and you really know your feelings are very genuine, you're in a danger zone right there.
Only if I mean if you could sell yourself on that, and she kind of knows that about you, like knows that you have this like boyish shyness about you, and if she thinks, oh, that's cute, I know he likes me, and he gets all crazy acting and nervous, and she uses that as something to kind of like, okay, he's into me. I just gotta kind of help him get those feelings out, because some women will step up in that role and say, you know what, I'm gonna help him with this process instead of putting everything out on him.
Okay. All right. So you would take more, like you said, the sensual, the touching approach to actually see kind of where it would go from there, and if they would maybe pull their hand back, or where the body language would speak differently, and then you would know what the second step would be as far as going in for something different.
Yeah, it could be like a cold winter day, and y'all decide to go grab something to eat, and it's brick outside, and you're walking, and you just say, "Let me," and she's like, "Man, it's cold out here." You just grab her, and you bring her real close to you, and you just end up walking like that, and you're like, "Man, she doesn't mind this," and you can kind of feel something, and
Right.
you can follow up with those. Those are definites you can follow up on.
Right. Right. But we got to do this before winter, right?
You got to do it before winter. Oh, no question, no
The
question.
second wave's coming back, man. You got to do it before winter comes, and in the second wave. So you got to do this. It's got to be this summer while it's hot. Remember, the virus was gonna die now at this time, but maybe it'd be ice cream or something. Like, go get that, and then be a cool down situation, something like that. Maybe. I honestly, I don't think I would do the touching approach, to be honest with you,
Hmm.
um, because of the way that I talk, and my personality, the way I am. I'm already aggressive enough, but I would have to kind of tone my aggression down with it, and just say it. Listen, I hope this doesn't ruin our friendship, but I need to be honest on how I feel, because if I don't say anything, I'm gonna die. And I'm gonna be very angry with myself if somebody comes through within, like, in a snake position, like, excuse me, and then they do it first. And then I lose out. So this is how I feel, this is how I have been feeling, and I just want to know if you feel the same way. And if you
And
don't,
it,
it's all good, because you still want to keep your position. Like, it's all good, because now that I got this weight off my back, at least I know now.
and there's nothing wrong with that approach. And some guys may hope that a woman kind of shows her aggression and says what she says instead of putting everything on him. So now she's giving you some directives to go with, and now you know somebody knocking at your door. You better be prepared to answer. So now you have to answer.
Right, exactly. And not only that, because I think if you do it verbally and more vocal, I think the second step will be more of the touching approach. Because if they do feel that way that you feel, then you can now go in for more of the sensualness. Like you can do the kissing, you can actually hold the hand and caress. Because I think for me, if I went in for like a hand or to touch first, and then maybe I just, scared them to the extent of, I made them paranoid or whatever, I'm going to get offended because I'm an overthinker. That's my personality. I overanalyze. Oh my God, don't do that again. No. So I will never do it again. I have to be vocal. And I know that's how I'm set up, and that's going to have to be my approach. But let's talk about the pros and the cons, though. And when we talk about pros and cons, this is something that we learned in school, like fourth, fifth grade or whatever. So outweighing as far as your good and bad, and how many do you need more on your pros side over cons before you actually make the attempt to say something?
I guess I never weighed it out like by the number, but I
More
think I look at
right?
I look at it more of the impact of the pros compared to the cons.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're more impactful, it could be 5 and 5. But
Mm-hmm.
if those 5 pros is like stuff to hit home on, and like, man, like I can't beat this. Like there's nothing greater than these pros right here. So I can that's gonna supersede those cons. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the way I kind of look at it.
Okay, so more on the level of saying, okay, this is very minor as far as a con versus that this pro outweighs almost everything. Because this is
Yeah,
something as the overall quality that I'm looking for, And I think it's big, not even just you're trying to make an attempt with your friend that you're now having these feelings or have had these feelings for. But just the simple fact of waiting for somebody to fall so that you can swoop right in and do your thing and say what it is that you want from them. I think it's all about goals for me. It's the long haul. It's where do you want to be as far as advancing yourself career wise. In the near future, how would you like to retire? How would you want to settle down? What do you want to do within these next 5 to 10 years to get you there? And
yeah,
it's all within those qualities that makes me excited. But if you will just like, I'm gonna retire, I just want to travel, like,
no,
no.
you got to come with at that point you got to come with some definites. But guess what? We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna pick that up, and then also get ready to kind of wind it down. But these are some legitimate points. I hope the people who's out there watching, I hope you're
Oh,
taking notes from myself and Kelly, and we'll be back on Thunderous Altercations, and you're listening to Can We Make This Happen?
hey.
Stay tuned to get this designer pan free from Gotham Steel. Tired of your pan that scratches and sticks? Well, it's time to upgrade.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my new copper-style designer pan that's guaranteed to beautify your kitchen like never before. Eggs stick to other pans, but with mine they slide right out. And look, it still has the super durable ultra non-stick surface. It's oven safe up to 500 degrees, so bake chicken pot pie and serve it straight from the pan. And then it wipes clean with ease.
Wow, this is a beautiful pan. It looks great. Look at that. I love how they swirl. I tell you, I'm sold.
I can't believe how beautiful this pan is.
Similar hammered pans sell for almost $100, but today it's an incredibly low $29.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. But wait, call right now and you can get a matching single-serve egg pan absolutely free. You'll get it all. Call now.
Call 1-800-626-9128. That's 1-800-626-9128 or go to GothamHammer.com.
All right, we're back on Thunderous Altercations, and we were talking about the friend zone. Can we make this happen? And we went through a lot of points, but we left off talking about the pros and cons. And as we were on break, I was thinking, and when you think about your chances of ruining the friendship, like how do you, what determines the deciding factor? Is the friendship more than taking that chance of finding maybe your alternate happiness? So that's something I was just pondering. What do you think, Kelly, about the chances of ruining a relationship? How would that impact your decision?
As far as ruining the friendship, I
Yeah,
think it's going to be more so on, I think just maybe even being in love with the idea and, thinking, having a different thought. Like once you get in it and then seeing other parts of them maybe that you never really have seen, or it might be the bumping of heads a lot easily now because of the fact that you're in another different type of close type of relationship as opposed to the friendship. You're now forgetting you were friends first before you got here, and maybe seeing the flaws on basically what the two of you have done in past relationships that you've had with other people, that you're thinking maybe you can kind of play it in this situation, and it's a hit and miss. I think that would ruin it.
and for me, I think in order, if things didn't work out, one of the things is being someone that's busy and not always available. But if it's a young lady you're friends with, and you're hanging out with her all the time, you're fixing things for her, sometimes you have to make yourself unavailable and to let her know, like, hey, I got other options. I didn't reach back out to you Friday because I had something going on. And sometimes that can change the dynamics. Because even still, if you got all your eggs in one basket and you end up being bitter behind it, because then eventually she moves on and start talking to someone else, and you kind of know that person, and you like, really, like, she dealing with him and didn't give me a shot. Like, man, I'm like that's just messed up, and I think that would cause like a lot of resentment. But if you're someone that's always have something going on and you're doing something, you don't, you took a shot, it didn't work out, and that's fine. And but you still can remain friends. Then I think ultimately, I don't think that's kind of win-win for you.
So you have like a trial and error period as far as a time frame to think about, like how long do you want to actually try this to see if it's what you both really want before you get to that point and you can't pull the friendship back. Because I think you have to look at that as a different, on a different light also. Because like you said, there might be other people. There may be a thing that now they've gotten more clingy. Like they're not letting you breathe, which when you were friends, appreciated your space and that you had your own stuff going on. That's why, there's got to be a way of maybe when you approach as far as with your feelings, you actually say within that conversation as well, like, let's try it out and see where it goes, and let's just take it slow. But at least you already at least made the point of just saying you want to give it a shot.
What's interesting about that? I've made posts before in the past about probationary periods and stuff like that. After 6 months, after a year, you sit down and say, "Okay, we've been dealing for a year. This is the good things. This is the bad things." And people say, "Oh yeah, that's natural. You're supposed to do that." But I don't think they say that, but I don't think people have those courageous conversations. Somehow they're swept under the rug, and I could say I could put it out there, but I don't think I ever said, "All right, we're in the year one. Let's see. We're not going. We're not building. We're not growing. I don't know if this working. I don't think too many people actually have those conversations. You may think differently. I'm just saying from my experience and from what I've seen as far as friends and families.
Yeah, well, I don't think you should have the conversation with like, we're going to try 3 months, or that's why I said you slow walk it. You take it slow. Let's just try it out. Let's see where it goes and take our time with it, and then as you basically are moving forward together, and if you see that you both are growing and it's more into a budding and blossoming relationship, then you start bringing in more conversations as far as like what you both want to do next. Like, is this going to be something like, now should we, look into like maybe moving in together? Let's start making some plans of, let's take that vacation, let's get away, or whatever the case may be. It's just another stepping stone to building. And I don't think you have to put that like, the 3 months, 6 month time frame on it, but it's just more so like, how do you want to see progression? Like, do you give a time frame of seeing some type of progression? Because some people might, not be wanting to move as fast.
Yeah, and I think it all again goes back to those tests. And
Mhm.
I could say I have friends say, yeah, they decided to go on vacation with a guy, and these are female friends. And when they got on vacation, he didn't have any money.
Mhm.
He didn't have no money really, so she ended up having to pretty much pay for everything. So after that it was pretty much a done deal. So it's little things like that, like vacations, just to see how people handle that and see what they're willing to pay, or whatever the case is, that could kind of, one of those tests that could kind of determine, nah, this ain't for me. I thought it was, but we went on vacation for 3 or 4 days, and nah, it wasn't right.
Yeah, like not even that, but just, another thing is, you don't want to get into this as a relationship with your friend that you've been friends with so long, and then they start to make it like you're going to now fill these other voids that they never experienced within other past relationships. You don't want to be used either. What are you going to say about that? Are you going to bring it up? Are you going to try to approach that differently? And see, that's why some people don't want to cross that line.
Yeah, so I mean, I think at the end of the day, you have to, whatever you're feeling. I mean, you have to go with your gut feeling. And I always say the miracle question is, you have to say to yourself, is your world better with or without that person? If
Mm.
you think it could be better with them and in a better role, then you'll go for it. If you say, we all right as it is, I like what we have going on, hang out here and there, there's no pressure, then you won't cross the line. But it's thoughts and things that drive those decisions.
Which goes back to the pros and cons.
Yeah.
But whatever you decided as far as what you were looking into, as far as knowing your friend, knowing that you're going to make this step towards saying your feelings, being honest, then yeah, that's what's putting you in this position in the first place. See, all of that had to be dealt with first before you even was vocal and said what you felt. But
Yeah.
at the same token, I know me, I'd be like, you know what? This is where it stops. The buck stops here.
So
Okay.
again, it's a lot to think about. So hopefully everyone will think about it. We're gonna get ready to do the conclusion and wrap this conversation up, but it's something always to think about, and that's why we had these topics, because not only for you to listen to it here, but to, once the show is over, to get off and think about it. Like, man, they made some good points. Maybe I need to think about this.
Hold up on that phone call. Hold on.
So as far as conclusions, anything you want to say, Kelly? I mean, next week's topic, the final finale of season 2. Man, it's a lot to think about.
It is a lot. It is a lot. Just thanks for tuning in up to this point, and hopefully you guys will join us, as far as next week. I am a hopeless romantic. So listen, I just think you should go for it. I don't know, whatever you're feeling, you only live once. So just go for it. Like, just put your big girl drawers on and make your announcement. But you can also follow me on IG. I'm at K Renee Show. And I have a podcast called The K Renee Show. It's exclusive content. And I just want to say shout out to my awesome earrings from JK Fashion Closet. Yes, one of a kind pair. And It's hot today, David.
Yeah. So for me, the thing is, again, like I said with that miracle question, you just gotta kind of go. You gotta go what you feel. You know what's best for you. Know what you're feeling. If you think that person can be that one, then why not give it a shot?
Do it.
But you gotta be you gotta know yourself better than anything. You can reach me on Facebook, David Lorenzo Glover, controversial counselor, LinkedIn, IG, David.Glover.7712. And hey, next week's is the finale. I'm thinking probably just maybe we'll recap key points from each one and take a look back at season 2 and then go from there. So with that being said, we're going to wrap this one up today and we'll see you next week. Stay tuned for the watch parties during the week. And everybody stay safe and continue to do the right thing because, like Kelly said, the second wave is coming and you don't want to get hit with
Don't want to be
it.
lonely. Do it.
So we're out. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Bye.
We're out. Good job. Okay, we're good. Sorry. We're out. I forgot I was on mute. Yeah, but good show, y'all. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all soon.
All right, have a good one. Be
All right.
safe.
Okay.
Bye-bye.